What's up, team, and welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Stock Show here with Lucas. I know I was gone last week and unfortunately I couldn't make a video for you guys, but I'm here today and we have got some good content for all of you. So I'm going to be talking about my top 3 picks, as well as I'm going to give a little bonus pick of something that I do like if you guys are looking for some extra trades, and I'm also going to talk about the market a little bit. So make sure to stay tuned throughout the whole video if you guys want to understand everything and get a good grasp of what I mean. Alright, so as always, this video is for entertainment purposes only and it's sci-fi time, so let's get into this. Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about here, we're going to look at the S&P 500. The index here is the SPY, ticker symbol SPY, sorry. What do I want to talk about here? Well, as we all know, it was very bullish, and over the last month or so, it has been trending downwards, right? Over the month of September, it's been very bearish. One thing that you do have to keep in mind is that it has been hitting lower lows and lower highs, as we can see here, right? Each of these highs are lower, and each of these lows are lower as well. So although it did have a good day, a couple of good days in the past week or so, it does seem on Friday it did pull back a little bit. It pulled back about 0.18%. So there is a chance that this does pull back to a potential lower low, or comes back to this little support here that it's been touching at about 427 and bounces back up. So just keep that in mind when doing your own trades or when following any of the trades that I'm putting out there today. All right, something that you also do want to keep in mind here is keep an eye on the SMAs, so the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day moving averages. They are going to act as little resistance points, and now maybe this yellow line may act as a little bit of a support, but when we do break up above both of these lines, so somewhere above the 443 level, there is a good chance that we are going to have totally reversed and begin course on a new bullish trend. All right, so just keep that in mind when doing any kind of trading or investing. All right, so the first stock that I want to talk about is going to be Peloton, ticker symbol PTON. What do I like about them here? So again, looking at the 6-month time frame, 4-hour chart, it has been very bearish, right, over the past. So about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I put out a trade on Peloton when it was sitting at about $86 a share or so, and I said that I think it's going to go down to about 82. My trade there was based off of previous support that it hit at the beginning of May when it came right down to 82 and bounced back up. And that is exactly what it did, right? It came down to this 82 and now seems to be like it's reversing upwards. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to reverse right back up into these previous levels above the $100, but it could potentially run up to into the 90s, high 90s, and maybe even go into the 100. So just be aware of that. Again, these 3 lines here, the 50, 100-day, and 200-day are going to act as resistance levels. So when you do move up to them, make sure to either take some profits or scale out of your position. All right, you can always get back into them, but when it does come to these levels, there is a good chance that it does pull back a little bit. So those levels are at about $96, here at about 101, and then later on at about $110 a share. So that's ticker symbol Peloton. Something that I do like with some good potential there. If we do go and run it up to its potential high, where I do see it coming up to maybe about $115 a share, that gives you somewhere of about 33% return. That's on a stock return. All right. Now, the next stock that I want to talk about is, again, a very oversold stock. This is a bit of a riskier one, but it's Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. As we all know, this has been extremely bearish, right? So coming down from all-time highs of about $320 a share has been consistently trending downwards. So generally speaking, this is not a stock that I always want to look at, something that has been consistently bearish. Doesn't give us very much, the direction overall isn't in our favor, right? So we don't want to be trading in something that is consistently coming downwards. However, it has been pulling up over the past couple of days, okay? We've had very good days on Friday finishing up 3.5%, and the days prior to that having very good green days as well. What do I like about it is that it came to this low here of about 140. If we were to track back, the last time it was here at 140 was all the way back in 2018. So definitely a long time ago. All right. This is still a company that I do believe in the future. However, the Chinese government is putting a lot of pressure on them, and that is part of the reason as to why they've been selling off. But when we do come and take a look at here, we have broken above the 50-day moving average. We've now broken above the 100-day moving average as well. So now our final little resistance should be here at the 200-day moving average, which is going to be at about $175, $180 a share, $180 a share, depending on how long it takes to get there. But I do see this continuing to push upwards. Whether or not it's going to come back to previous all-time highs, that's a question that we're going to have to see in the future. However, there is still some potential money to be made here. So what I would be interested in doing is running this up from about 161 to potentially 175, 180, and then locking in my profits there. When it does pull back a little bit, pull back again, get back into a position and ride it up againwards. So if we are to try to run it up from 160 or so to about 175, that's a possible 9% return. If we were to push it to about 180, that's about 12% return. So very good stock, especially on a big one like this. And overall, Alibaba is a very good company. You got Jack Ma as the CEO. So overall, very good news for this Chinese e-commerce company. All right. Now, the third stock that I want to talk about is going to be ticker symbol NKE, which is Nike. Had a very bullish run right off of that, their previous earnings. And then based off of their last earnings, they did sell off quite aggressively, all right? So they did come to quite a discount from being at about $174 a share, coming all the way down to $145 and now starting to reverse and change course. So again, following these EMA lines, there is a possibility that it does pull back when it touches this yellow line here or touches this blue line. They are going to act as resistances. Once we do break those lines now become support levels, right? So we've seen it tried to pull up here, it got stopped and then sold off. And then same thing, we're coming back to test the lines now again. So something that you do want to keep in mind, just try to follow the levels on this one and possibly wait for a pullback to enter into this trade. But I do see this coming back up to about $160 a share or so. And if it does continue to reverse, who knows, it could go to all-time highs because overall Nike is a very good company. All right, if we are to calculate some of the returns here, to about $160 or so, that gives us approximately a 5% return, which is a very good return again on a big stock like this. Alrighty, so now the last extra little bonus pick, it's going to be ticker symbol MRNA, which is Moderna. Again, had a huge rally, right? Ran up all the way from 200 all the way up to 480 for any of you guys who hold this stock, this biotech. That's a great return even on shares. But recently it has pulled back, right? It did run up a little too quickly and it's kind of stabilizing itself. What do I like about Moderna? Well, it's sitting at a good support level here, right? If we were to draw ourselves out this support line based off that previous support, over here back in on July 21st or so when it was down at $300, it seemed to have stayed here for a couple of days and then it broke upwards and then ran up. Now we've come down and we've been testing this support, right? We've been sitting here for a couple of days. So obviously this can break down. If it breaks down, I do expect this to come down to its next level here, possibly somewhere around $236, $235 a share. But if we do see this start to change course, then I do think it could be a very good trade. I would wait to play this, wait for till you see a confirmation of a reversal, because as of right now, we are downtrending and it is a bearish trade. So you don't want to buy into it thinking you're getting it at a good discount and then it does continue to sell off quite aggressively. What you can do is wait for this to pull up a little more, maybe come up to about $310, $315 a share, start to add to your position, and as it continues to run upwards, you can continue to add into it a little heavier. That's how I like to play it. I like to scale my way into trades and scale my way out. So that's how I'm going to play this Moderna trade. I'm not going to jump into it quite just yet. I'm going to look at how this week plays out, see if there's any other news regarding the biotechs, any other news regarding COVID, and based off of that is how I'm going to play this trade. But it does give you a lot of room for opportunity, whether that's in stock shares or options. You have a good room to grow and for it to come back up into this 400 level, which I wouldn't be surprised for it to happen. It's just a question of when. So If we are to run it back up to about $400, that's about a 30% return, which is a great return, but it is a bit of a higher risk trade because it is currently bearish. So as always, guys, if you guys enjoyed this content, please like, comment, share, and smash that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, helps us grow, and helps others learn about us. And I do enjoy teaching. I love to share my knowledge and try to share these trades with as many people as I can. So aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. For those of you Canadians out there, happy Thanksgiving. Make sure to be thankful for everything and spend a lot of time with your family. And for all of you other ones, well, we'll see you in the trading week this week. Have a good one, everybody.